We're talking all things Sandy Springs today. I get a lot of questions about all of these metro Atlanta suburbs, so today is what you might consider a virtual FAQ about everything you need to know about Sandy Springs. Hey, my name is Joe. I'm a local realtor here in the metro Atlanta area. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about what it feels like, looks like to live around here, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you can stay up to date on everything there is to know about living around Atlanta. Let's get into it. Sandy Springs is perhaps the first suburb of Atlanta sitting right at 12 o'clock. In fact, because it crosses the I-285 perimeter, it has a unique mix between the urban and the suburban. If you're looking for a nice, quiet neighborhood but still want a short drive into the big city, this is where you go. In Sandy Springs, you'll be closer to things like the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, the Botanical Gardens, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Georgia Aquarium, Fox Theater, Centennial Olympic Park, College Football Hall of Fame, plus all of the amazing restaurants that Atlanta has to offer. Atlanta is a big city with big amenities. Some people want to be part of that. They want to be right in the middle of... Willow. They want to be right in the middle of all of that, as they should. It's awesome. You can use public transportation here. Sandy Springs is where the first MARTA stations are on the Red Line. You can easily jump down into Buckhead, Midtown, or right into the heart of Atlanta. Literally no other suburb has this perk. You also sit right along 285, which takes you anywhere you need to go around the city and intersects all of the other major highways. Fair warning though, this is a traffic nightmare and they're adding toll lanes along that north corridor, so it will be even worse for a couple of years. Sandy Springs is very much a mix between suburban and urban. I-285 is considered the perimeter of Atlanta, which Sandy Springs straddles. This is why it's considered one of the gateway cities into downtown Atlanta. On one hand, you have quiet tree-lined neighborhoods with spacious homes, great for those who want maybe a more relaxed residential feel. On the other hand, you have high-rise apartments, business districts, commercial development, and easy access to some of the best dining, shopping, and entertainment in Midtown and downtown Atlanta. If one of you loves the energy of city life, but the other craves a bit more space and a little bit more quiet, Sandy Springs offers the best of both worlds. Close to the action, but with some room to breathe. If you need help dialing in the best area for you, go ahead and reach out to me. My information is below in the description, or you're gonna see it right here at the bottom of the screen. I help clients relocate here all the time. Call, text, or email. I'll be able to help you figure out which area is going to work best for you. Always happy to answer questions or have a conversation. One of the best things Sandy Springs has going for it is its proximity to Atlanta and its easy access to everything the big city has to offer. Pro sports, great restaurants, musicals, concerts, you name it. But there are also great activities that are in the city of Sandy Springs itself. Sandy Springs' downtown, known as City Springs, has a different feel than some of the other cities around here. Instead of historic buildings, it's a modern, more master planned district built around the Performing Arts Center. There is green spaces and a mix of restaurants and retail. It's less about nightlife and more about community events here. Instead of like a busy bar scene, it's more like outdoor movie nights, farmers markets, and some community festivals. Sandy Springs also has some great riverfront spots like Morgan Falls Overlook Park, Big Trees Forest Preserve, which are great for kayaking, hiking, or just maybe just a walk through the woods. For indoor activities, Sandy Springs is gonna have a more cultural and active experience with things like Battle and Brew. This is a video game restaurant and bar. Like, each table has a TV and video game console where you can play Mario Kart, Mortal Kombat with your friends while you eat. Or there's iFly indoor skydiving, which I don't know if you've ever seen something like this, but they put you in a giant air tube that pushes you up so you're floating in the air. There's Perimeter Mall, which is technically in Dunwoody, but it's so close. And then there's the Performing Arts Center, where they are constantly hosting plays like Frozen, comedy shows, and some musical groups. I would say Sandy Springs is one of the stronger areas in terms of things to do. The downtown area isn't the most robust, but you're so close to Atlanta that it kind of doesn't matter. Obligatory disclaimer that my code of ethics impedes me from speaking about safety as my own opinion. There is a long history of realtors steering folks towards or away from certain towns under the guise of, quote, safety. What I will do is cite data from third-party sources, so if something does happen, please don't sue me or put me in real estate jail. Let's take a look at what Neighborhood Scout has to say. The crime rate in Sandy Springs is considerably higher than the national average across all communities in America, from the largest to the smallest. Although at 19 crimes per 1,000 residents, it is not among the communities with the very highest crime rate. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Sandy Springs is 1 in 52. Based on FBI crime data, Sandy Springs is not one of the safest communities in America. Relative to Georgia, Sandy Springs has a crime rate that is higher than 69% of the state's cities and towns of all sizes. However, compared to other communities of similar population size, Sandy Springs has a crime rate that is noticeably lower than the average. This means that for comparably sized cities all across America, Sandy Springs is actually safer than most, according to Neighborhood Scout's exclusive analysis of FBI crime data. So, not that bad. And looking at the map, it looks like the closer you get to the Chattahoochee River, the safer the area becomes. School systems in Georgia are going to be divided by the county lines, and Sandy Springs is going to be in the Fulton County school system, coming in at number 12 best school system around Atlanta, according to niche.com. Fulton County is a very weird shape though, and there's a difference between the north section and the south section. North Fulton County has a shape that you would expect, and in that northern bubble are some of the best schools in the entire state. On the south side, things change, which you can see reflected in this map right here. Schools in Sandy Springs are going to be North Springs High School and Riverwood International Charter School. I'm pulling data from niche.com and greatschools.org. On niche.com, we're looking at the letter grade, and from greatschools.org, we're looking at the rating out of 10. North Springs High is further north in the city. This used to be a charter school until 2022. It gets an A- on niche.com and a 5 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Riverwood International Charter gets an A on niche.com and a 7 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Now these are pretty good numbers, although certainly not the highest in the county. If you're looking for schools with some better ratings, I would look a little further north than here. Sandy Springs is a very mixed bag when it comes to housing. Whereas most of the suburbs in North Georgia are dominated by single-family detached housing, Sandy Springs is more diverse with much more townhomes and even more condos. Second is that the supply in Sandy Springs has not recovered yet. Most of the cities had a big inventory uptick in 2023 and 2024, but Sandy Springs did not. There are only 92 total homes currently available, compared to Roswell's 160 and Alpharetta's 330. Now, of those 92 available homes, 56 are attached and only 36 are detached, so heavily favored in attached housing. Then let's break those numbers down just a little bit further. Of those attached housing, only 13 will be townhomes and 43 are going to be condos, with options from something around $200,000 all the way up to new construction penthouse for just over $2 million. And if you're looking to buy a condo, reach out. There's a lot of information that you need to know first. For detached housing, there just isn't a lot of options, with only 36 currently on the market. And of those 36, 30 of them are over the $1 million price point. But let me tell you, the neighborhoods are gorgeous. The houses are unique, but not weird, and you can't beat the location. Currently, median home price is only $550 in Sandy Springs, but that's really because there are so many condos under $300 that are pulling that average down. If you just looked at detached housing, then median home price is somewhere between $750 and $1 million. Because there are just so few home sales here every month, those numbers fluctuate pretty wildly. If you think about buying or selling anywhere in the metro Atlanta area, I'd love to help. My information is below in the description. You're also going to see it right here at the bottom of the screen. Call, text, or email. I'm happy to answer any questions or just have a conversation anytime. Sandy Springs is a major healthcare powerhouse. The city has what's known as Pill Hill, where 3 of the state's top hospitals are located. Northside Hospital Atlanta, Emory St. Joseph's, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Scottish Rite. Northside Atlanta is a national leader in maternity and women's health, delivering more babies than any other hospital in the country. It's known as the Baby Factory, and it's also where both of my girls were born and where a lot of my friends' kids were born as well. And yeah, you're gonna pass 2 or 3 other hospitals in order to get here because this place knows baby delivery. If you need advanced heart care, cancer treatment, or orthopedic surgery, Emory St. Joseph's Hospital is certainly gonna be a top choice. And if you have kids, CHOA Scottish Rite provides some of the best pediatric care in the Southeast. If your kid has anything major going on, just go straight here. Whatever other place you end up taking them is probably just gonna end up sending them there anyway. My daughter actually fractured her skull when she was 4. Long story, super scary, I'll tell you sometime. And the hospital we ended up at ended up putting her in an ambulance to send her over to Scottish Rite just to be safe. Sandy Springs is pretty much the go-to spot for top-notch healthcare in Georgia. If something serious happens, chances are you're going to end up at one of these places anyway, so you might as well just live here. If this city isn't really what you're looking for, or maybe you just want to know what else is out there, check out this playlist right here, and I'll walk you through some of the other options. I'll see you in the next one.